So
SM36 and
yeah,
37.
SM36 and SM37. Background job administration we discussed, right? So background jobs, job to automate the some of the functionalities here. Suppose daily you are doing the something, you don't want to do it daily. If you do the job, if you hand over to the job will take care of that one daily execution as per the schedule. As per the schedule, job will take care of that one. So that's what we discussed. So in the work process, DV, EB, so then MGS, right? Up to B we discussed. Then message server here. Message server is for the logon load balancing activities. So message server details, message server is available in the applications ASCS instance level. So message server here. So what is the use of the message server means load balancing activities, here. So load balancing activities here. So the transaction code is like SMMS here. In the SMMS transaction code, we can check the status of the message server, whether the message server is up or not. We can check it out here. Message server is up or not. We can check the status here, message server status and everything. We can check it out here. Message server status here, SMMS transaction code. So what is the use of the message server means load balancing. It will do the load balancing activities here. In that case, if we have the more than one application server, that time message server will do the load balancing. So which means suppose what will happen here, you have the so GUI. Here you have the application server. So you have the SAP and this is the database, right? This is the ASCS instance. This is the application server here. And you have the one more application server you have installed. You have the one more application server you have installed for the load purpose. So what it will do here, the connections will come here, right? This is the ASCS instance. This is the ASCS instance here. This is the ASCS instance here, right? Then this is the application server, SAP app server here. This is also SAP app server. You can install the one more app server also. That is possible, right? For the load balancing purpose, SAP app server here. So here we have the dispatcher. Is there. Here also we have the dispatcher, right? Each app server there is a dedicated dispatcher is there. Dedicated dispatcher is available here, right? You can see that dispatcher work process dispatcher. So here this is the database. This is the your GUI entries, logon pad entries, and everything here. Here, as of now, what you are doing here from your GUI to you are directly connecting to the application server. You are directly connecting to the any one of the application server. You are directly connecting here. So, actually, if you have more than one is there, normally we should not connect directly. More than one is there, we should not connect directly here. We should not connect to the directly here. So via ASCS, we have to connect it here via ASCS. ASCS means here we have the message server is there here. Here message server will route the request to the your available application server, dispatcher. It will route the request here. Means your connection is coming here, then message server will check in which application server you have the less load, in which application server you have the less load, then it will transfer your request to the either any one of the application server, it will transfer the load here, right? Any one of the application server, it will transfer the load. So suppose in case if this is down, then your request will be forwarded to the either any one of the application server. In case of this is also down, your request will be forwarded to the any one of the application server, which means user will not face any downtime. System is not available like that here. Why? Because here Either you will be logging to the here or here or here. But if you directly connect to the application server, what will happen? If this is down, then you will not able to log in. Why? Because you are not connecting from message server. You are not connecting from message server, right? You are not connecting from the message server. You will not able to log in here. You are not connecting from the message server. You will not able to log in here. Why? Because you are directly connecting to the particular application server. If the application server is not responsive, unresponsive, or shut down, then other two are also there, then you will not able to log into the other two. But when you are connecting from the message server duty is the load balancing. So the message server will check which application server having the less load, then your request will be forwarded to the respective application server. Your request will be forwarded to the respective application server. That will happen here. In that case, we should have the more than one application server should be required. So, but to transfer this one, to transfer message server should able to transfer this one, what we required is here, to transfer the message server successfully to the other application server. So it will work based upon the logon groups. Means message server distribution will happen based upon the logon groups here. SAP logon groups here. SAP logon groups it will work. Means logon groups means in SMLG transaction code we have to create the groups here. In SMLG transaction code we have to create the group here. Based upon this group, your load balancing will happen based upon this group. So your request will be based upon this group. Your request will be forwarded to either here, or here. Your request will be forwarded to the here. That will happen in the system here. So in that case, we have to log into the SMLG transaction code here. Here we need to create the groups here. Here we have already some groups are there. Here we need to create the groups creation already there here. Groups we have to create it here so that the message server will work based upon the group here. Based upon the group, it will transfer it here. Based upon the group, it will transfer it here. Suppose like example, here click on the S3 group. Suppose what group? Suppose like, so the public, all the public users should go log into this application servers. Like that, we have one more application server. We need to select the one more application server also. We have to select it here, right? All the public applications we have to log in. They will go via this one here, right? Then one more group like space. So space group, like that, multiple groups we can create it here. All right. Why we have to create the groups means, here. Suppose if you see here, so your logon pad, when you are creating the logon pad entries here, what we are saying, so you need to, if you are directly connecting to the custom application server, your request will be forwarded to the only that particular application server only. But if you are connecting via message server will route the request to the respective application server, here, right? So in that case, what we have to do? So we have to just create the groups here. Suppose like SAP ECD groups here, you need to create the group server selection. So in this case, we need to select the SAP group server selection. We have to choose it here. Then description SAP ECD groups we have to give it here. Then system SID ECD. Then application server message server details we have to provide it here, which means SAP. What is the message server details here? AP online 1, then 33. So what is the message server details here? If you go to the SMMS here, so here you will get the message server is running on the KP online 1. Then what is the instance number here? 3303, right? Message server instance number is the 03 here. So here in the group, you need to follow the syntax here 03. Then select the group server selection here in the group 3306.
3603, I guess.
360. DGM 3603. Yes, right. So here, then if you select it here, it will fetch the groups, whatever the groups. See here, it is contacting to the message server. Then it will display the groups. So based upon the groups, so we can connect it. Which you are not directly contacting the application server. You are not directly contacting the custom application server. Whether group server selection you are using group server selection you are using here, which means group server selection it is using here. So I think this port number we need to enable it, I guess. So then we can able to connect it here. Group server selection we are using. Maybe we can use the public, not automatically it will should be displayed. The groups should be displayed here. Click on the create, then group server selection, then 3603, then it's not coming. So there is a port number. The port number we need to put into the exception list here. Well, because via this port only it will connect, right? So via that port number only, let me check that port here. We go MMC, the MMC we will get the in the MMC we can get the, so what is the port number for that one? We can get to know here. If we go to the here, suppose like ECD. So if we go to the message server and access points here in the access points column, 3603 message server. Okay, message server port is there here, right? So what I can do, let's go to here, firewall. Port 3232 is there, 33 is there, then 36002, 3699, which means so that one configured. Now let's go to the here. Let's go to create connection. Okay. Next, group server selection. So you can give any description is anything. That's not a matter. Okay. Then select the ECD. Then message server details here. KP online one. Okay. KP online one colon 3603. Okay, that one we have to give it here. Then it will whatever there in the SMLG logon groups we configured, that will grab the data, that will get the data from, so that application server, message server, it will get the data. Then the groups will be displayed. We are getting an error here. Let me check for other. Zero, zero, 600. ECP description, ECP1, then group server selection. Please wait while connecting to the message server. Let me try another. So here it's giving the error, maybe some connections block or something. Okay, just let's try here. I'm trying here. Okay, just click on the create. Okay, ECD groups. So here group server selection. Okay, group server selection. ECD groups here. Then system SID ECD. Then message server one, and the details like 3603. Okay, then group server. So then it will contacting the SAP message server. Then it will display the groups, whatever the groups we have. So that groups will be displayed here, which means host name. Oh, yeah, wrong host name. Right, now it's displayed. See here, whatever the groups you configured, that groups got displayed here. That group got displayed here, which means whatever the groups you configured in SMLG, that group got displayed here. So now what it will do, message server will distribute the load to the among the application servers. Among the application server, if we have the more than one is there, but in this group you are assigning, so for in this group you are assigning the two instances. In SMLG we have to assign the two instances in the SMLG, right? So message server will transfer the request to the two. If you have one more instance is there, then one more instance will come here. Then the public group is assigned to the two instances, so that so whenever the transfer is happening here, message server, so it will check the group. Okay, this group is assigned to the two instances. Then your request will be routed to the in these two instances. You require either any one of the request you will be assigned here. Where we have the less load, your request will be forwarded to the that application server. So this will be done by the your message server. This will be done by the message server here. Here we can check it out here. Here we can check the all those things like so here we can check the so how the logon load balancing working here in the SMLG. We can find out the load distribution here. So what is the response time? How many users are logged in? Here we can find out the group. So here we can get the all the information here. All the information we can find out the information how the system load and all those things we can find out in SMLG. So here this will work based upon the groups here, based upon the groups which you create in the FMLG, that will work here. If we have more than, that time the groups will work, right? But only one is there. Either if you directly connect it or we have only one instance only there. If you directly connect it or if you indirectly, if you try groups also, if you connect it, one application server is down, you will not able to connect, right? If this is down, then if you are connecting to the message server, if this is down, then even though you are unable to log in. But if you have more than one application server is down, if one is down, your request will be forwarded to the another application server, right? your request will be forwarded to the another application server. Another application server. It will be forwarded to the another application server here. So that will happen here. Okay. So that is the concept of the ASCS instance here. Okay. So here message server will play the major role here, which means the message server activities is the logon load balancing activities. Logon load balancing activities it will perform it here. Logon load balancing. So we can test it. We can test it. So, but here we need to install the one application server. We have to install it here. One application server we have to install it. Then if you install the one additional application server, we can perform the this testing. This testing we can perform it, like how it is behaving and all those things we can perform it here. If you install the one additional application server, on additional application server, if you install it, we can perform it here. So, but currently this host is not reachable. Let me check. I will troubleshoot it on offline. This is also not reachable. IP ADDR show 103. 103 only there. 103. So more etc host 102 is there. So this is wrong. Okay, that is fine. Mhm. Okay, so like this, but what about the our other application server?